Today, bass player Jeff Abercrombie and songwriter-guitarist Carl Bell from the multi-platinum group Fuel came straight to us.
So guys, first of all, your initial reactions to Chris getting booted from Idol.
I think everybody was shocked. We were shocked. I thought he'd be number 1 or number 2 at least, you know? And we were talking about that, so I was like, no way. And then it happened, and I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy.
What do you think it was? Do you think it was the song choice?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he does Elvis songs very well. I don't think anybody, that was the worst, really for me, is he's held his credibility the whole way, as his rock cred. And then last night watching him doing the Elvis songs, I was like, oh man, that was wrong. It was brutal. It was hard last night. So, I mean, the Elvis the night before, so I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Now, when did Chris, first of all, really take you aback? When did he come to your attention?
Well, obviously, you know, he performed one of our songs, Hemmorhage. And we, you know, I saw the performance and I was like, wow, you know, this guy actually did a fantastic job covering one of our songs, you know? So that was my first.
That's the first I've heard of him, everybody, you know?
Now, he's a big fan of yours, isn't he? He's a huge fan of yours.
He came to one of our shows. When I contacted him after he sang this song, Hemmorhage, on the show, I called him up and he's like, dude, I was at your show in North Carolina, you handed me a pic, I was on the front row, that was back on our first tour. So he is a big fan, so it's cool. It was cool.
Now, he came down with a friend to one of your auditions, right?
He actually, yeah, came to auditions and he sang, and he's, you know, he's a big fan. He came to your auditions, got up and sang, and it was cool. And you know, we've been talking since then, and so we've, you know, we're still continuing to talk. So we'll see what happens here.
So, I mean, this opens loads of doors. You've come here today to Extra to say something to Chris, haven't you?
Well, I think, Chris, if you're watching, we've talked about this before. If you want to entertain this again, we'll entertain it again and go. Otherwise, we got a guy and we're about to go make a great record. So if you want to be a part of that, let's do it. If not, here we go.
So you've actually just found somebody.
Yeah, obviously we've gone through, you know, a whole slew of guys auditioning. We found this one kid and we feel great about him. The guy sounds amazing, you know, he's fantastic voice, really talented kid, the whole package.
But you would be willing to get rid of him if Chris would accept?
I think you can't deny the power of the show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chris, the cool thing about Chris is he's kept his credibility through the show. He's always stayed true, he's been rock, and that's cool. Otherwise, I don't think we'd ever entertain anybody from American Idol. For us, it just wouldn't fit. I think Chris, on the other hand, does. And I mean, like, we've already talked to Chris about it before, even before we found this other guy. So I think to honor what we've already started with him, we would honor that again. But like I said, we've got another guy we're totally excited about. It's kind of putting us in a weird spot now because we're like, oh man, we were headed in one direction and now it's like a detour. So we'll see what happens. And you know, if Chris wants to do it, you know, we'll entertain that for sure.